Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a performance that has so many drama fans talking. We're going to break down the incredible craft and emotional depth behind Chen Xingxu's role as Xiao. Sometimes a single line just cuts right to the chase, and this is one of them. It gets to the very heart of why this performance is so special. It's not just about an actor playing a part. It's about bringing a real, flawed, living person to life right before our eyes.
All right, so let's get right into it with a scene that, on the surface, seems pretty simple. But trust me, there's so much going on here that tells us everything about the character and the actor's amazing choices.
So you've got this character, Zhiyu, and you need to understand this guy is all about control. He's a top-tier, non-player character in the story's world. Think of him as a program, designed to be completely emotionless, always 10 steps ahead of everyone else.
But then, you throw a wrench in the works. He's stuck in a car, and there's this toy doll on the dashboard, and it just keeps repeating over and over and over, "You big idiot." I mean, can you imagine? It's the complete opposite of the perfect controlled world he lives in.
So what do you do if you're a guy who prides himself on total, absolute control? You'd think he'd just ignore it, right? Or, I don't know, calmly switch it off?
Nope. He does something that is so not him. He gets genuinely angry and actually tries to shut the doll up by covering its mouth with his hand, like it's a real person. It's so fierce and, honestly, a little childish. It just completely shatters that cool exterior.
And get this is the best part. That whole moment, it wasn't even in the script. The actor, Chen Xingxu, just did it. A complete improvisation that totally reshaped how we see this character.
And what's so brilliant about that choice is that it's a perfect example of this concept called fan xia meng, or contrast cuteness. It's that awesome moment when a character does something totally against their personality. That one little improvised move just blows a hole in his cold, perfect facade, and suddenly you see this flustered, vulnerable guy underneath. And that's the key, right? This isn't just for laughs. This is seen as the character's only way of showing he cares. It's this super awkward, clumsy, roundabout confession from a man who literally doesn't have the words to say I love you. Okay, so that's one brilliant improvised moment. But now let's zoom out and look at how this actor's craft goes way deeper into some serious technical skill. And we've got to talk about his eyes. Seriously, his eyes are so good they're basically playing two different characters all on their own.
So, on one hand, he's playing Zhiyu, this gentle, sophisticated architect in the real world. But then, he flips a switch, and in the game world, he becomes Qin Xiao, a totally cold, absolutely ruthless warlord from a whole different time.
And this is just wild. He can switch between these two completely different people in less than a second. It happens in the blink of an eye, literally, and it is completely and utterly believable.
And people have actually broken this down, and it gets even more amazing. As the architect, he blinks about 12 times a minute, which, feels normal, warm, human. But when he's the NPC warlord, he drops that down to just 5 blinks a minute. And that tiny change is what creates that unsettling, almost non-human intensity. It's so subtle, but it makes all the difference.
It's that insane level of detail. I mean, who even thinks about their blink rate? That had viewers and fans giving him this huge title. They're basically saying he set a new gold standard for what's possible with eye acting for actors of his generation.
But look, as impressive as all that technical stuff is, the real magic of this performance is how it connects the character's inner turmoil to something we can all, really relate to.
Think about Zhiyu's situation. He is just torn in 3 different directions. The whole architect thing, that's just a disguise, a mask he wears. The NPC character, that's his escape, a way to run from his real life. And holding it all together is this shackle, this all-consuming revenge plan that dictates his every move.
And that struggle, that's not just some fantasy plot point. It's actually a pretty powerful metaphor for the kind of identity anxiety that so many of us feel today. That constant pressure to be different things for different people.
Which really makes you think, right? Aren't we all struggling with that? Trying to balance all these different roles we have to play?
I mean, just think about your own life. There's the you at work, who has to be professional and on top of things. Then there's the you at home, who can finally relax. The you with your friends, who's maybe a little louder, a little sillier. And somewhere in the middle of all that, we're all just trying to figure out, who's the real me? And how do I keep all these pieces from falling apart? And that's really what his story is all about, isn't it?
It's about that messy, beautiful, sometimes painful struggle that is just part of being an adult. It's about trying to find a little bit of light in the darkness, and maybe some love, even when you feel totally trapped by your life.
So I guess I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. When a character hits us this hard, when a performance feels this real, how much of that is the actor's incredible, almost magical skill? And how much of it is because they're holding up a mirror and we're seeing a little piece of ourselves looking back?